But I have to be able to shema that Torah first. I have to perceive, discern, understand, obey, apply, and finally be content in what it says. So I have to first incline myself to be upright. I have to incline myself. I have to move in the direction. I have to be willing to be led by the Ruach HaKodesh. I have to be willing to allow that light to shine so that I can see where I'm stepping. But if I don't have the furniture in order, then I cannot have the inclination to offer any type of worship. Okay? So we must constantly be aware of where we are and where we're going. This is why in the Ve'ahavta we're commanded to consider the Shema when we rise up and when we lie down, as well as when we're in motion. We have to take time to inventory the gold and the silver and the gold in the tabernacle. The Shema, the Ve'ahavta, when you rise up, when you lie down, and when you walk on the way. The rabbis have interpreted that as, so you say the Shema in the evening, morning, and you say it in the evening. But they forgot the part about when you walk along the way. So a lot of people add it midday. Okay? I'm taking inventory of where I'm at so that I can make adjustments along the way. Verse 40:17 of Shemot reinforces this act of accounting. It says, "And it came to pass in the first month, in the second year, on the first day of the month, that the tabernacle was reared up." All right. Any questions? Because we read that and we say, okay, well, I'm going to skip over that because it's really not important. I'm going to move down because we're not responsible for any of that Old Testament stuff. All right. The word for reared up is hukam, that literally means to rise up, to stand, to be erect. It also, however, means to maintain oneself. According to the Midrash Tanhuma, the word vayehi represents a sorrowful event. Would our becoming complete be a cause for sorrow? Is our ability to stand in righteousness a cause for sorrow? Think about that. Wow. Is our desire or our ability or our desire to stand upright a cause for sorrow? How many people had to leave behind things that you loved because you wanted to walk upright? Are you sorry you did it? Or has it changed your life for the better? Okay? Vayehi also means the idea of existing in a physical world, from the roots and from the letters itself. So, the Midrash offers a story about a king who had an argumentative wife. He asked her to make him a purple cloak. As long as she was occupied working on the cloak, she didn't consider fighting and arguing with the king. The idea in this verse is much the same. We can never be finished working on the tabernacle, as it is in the work that we do that we take the time necessary to be sure that every detail is right in making it. He had an argumentative wife. She gave him a hard time. The king asked her to make him a purple robe. She gets very involved in the intricate details of making that robe for the king. I'm that robe. The king wears me. He dwells within me. Am I paying attention to the important details within that? Okay? When we sweep the floor or dust the furnishings and the curtains, we're careful to remove the dust that might make them dirty. Why on the first day of the month? On the new moon day after the Abib, we begin the countdown to the 14th day, which is Passover. The 14th letter of the Aleph Beit is Nun, which is the letter that represents our spiritual life. The root of the word nefesh, that even deeper than that means our soul. The thing that actually records our life on. The little disk drive that gets transferred to the thumb drive when we die. The thumb drive that Elohim sticks into his test laptop and says, cool, I can go ahead and upload this to the brand new mainframe that is plugged directly into Gan Eden. So the soul records who are, or he looks at it and says, it's guy, all they've done is look at porn. They got viruses all over the place. I can't put this in. Pulls it out and throws it in file 13. It's the end. You're cut off. Okay? So, very important, this idea that from Passover, when we get to Passover, we make that choice to accept the bread and the wine. We make the choice to accept the groom or to reject the groom. Okay? So the 14th letter of the alphabet is Nun, which is the letter that represents our spiritual life. We must also be aware of the leaven in our house and be constantly vigilant to never stop working to make our tabernacle better and better for the service of and in our relationship with Yahuwah Elohim. We yoke ourselves to Him by and through His Word, and our spiritual life, as well as our physical life, prospers and grows. Okay? Come to me, all of you who are freaked out, wigged out, and stressed out. I'm going to give you rest. Take my yoke upon you. Then we have to switch versions and go to the Aramaic version, because I'm humble. And in my heart, you will find rest for your soul, your nefesh. In my heart, leb. Remember again, the last letter of the Torah is lamed. The first letter of the Torah is beit. You put them together, it spells heart, leb. Okay? In my Torah, you'll find rest for your souls. But you have to yoke yourself. And this is chet. Okay? Remember, the chet is the one that looks like the doorpost and the lintel. Passover, we consider chet. Am I yoking myself to the Word, or am I hiding behind a wall of chatat, a desire to walk off course? Anyway, there's Fikudei in a little, I say a nutshell, okay, a Brazilian nutshell. And we'll just say grooviness has been